In the next few minutes, you're going to discover how to streamline your content into a matter of minutes. And I'm going to show you the exact process to create something that is of high quality and, more importantly, on brand. And the best part is we're only going to be using two tools, Claude Design and some type of image model. And by the way, I'm Marlon. I do this AI stuff all day long. So if you're ready to streamline your content even more than you already have, let's start with the most important part. So this is by far the most important part of what I'm going to explain to you. Obviously, this is Claude Design, just came out. You might still be having some issues along the way. But that's totally fine. So this is an absolute game changer, and most people are still using it wrong. So you want to come into design systems and you want to actually create one. So this is just very simple. If you don't have these documents I'm going to mention, I'm actually going to show you a prompt here that'll help you basically tie this whole thing together. Ultimately, that means we're going to fill this out. It can be a quick just description here. And then we can pull from a few different sources. If you have a GitHub already with kind of your brand assets that you and your team use, you can pull from there, which is really cool. You can also just link code from your computer. Most importantly, cool little feature here as well, it doesn't upload the whole code base. You can upload a .fig file if that's kind of what you use. And you can also just add fonts, logos, and assets. Now you can just browse with any of these options. So those are a few options. Now, let's just go back to this here. Now I know you're probably thinking, how much context do I need to provide? And that's why I provided you with this, which is the Brand Bible Builder prompt. Okay, this will be linked down below. Essentially just copy and paste this prompt in and I'll kind of walk you through the entire thing. What you'll end up with is brand identity, if you don't have it already, visual brand, tone of voice, content pillars, platform guidelines, systems, and automation. If you have some of these already, I would encourage you just to go through this process nonetheless. Answer as specifically as you can. If you're still kind of vague, what I would say is just get references from anywhere, whether that's from your own account, from your own data, or that's just from competitors or assets you find inspiration from. Just copy and paste this entire thing and you'll have a pretty good understanding of your brand if you don't already. Once you have all that information, you're gonna then come back here and you're just gonna upload it. You can add some other notes, but the Brand Bible pretty much covers all these other notes. Pretty much just put your company name and blurb in here, and then you just continue to generate. So this is what it looks like. So basically, it's just gonna run things down. And you can see here how I have a UI kit, which is just the carousel. I have the thumbnail, I have the Odin reach, just the website. And we have type, okay? We have colors, we have spacing, we have components, and we have brand. And this took a little bit. It's gonna generate, it's gonna take about 5 minutes. And once that is complete, and that's why really going through this process, I want you to kind of flesh it out as best as you can, because essentially it's going to keep pulling from this design system. But as you can see, look at the detail here. So we have type, right? So we have JetBrains mono specimen, the only typeface. Okay, so it gives us some aspects of how things may look, which I think is lovely. We have scale, so it just provides us with some scale here. We have hero image, headline 2, headline 3, and body. And we have colors, right? Which is obviously super important. We have spacing, so how does all that look with different ratios? We have components, we have badges, tags, buttons, inputs. So after kind of going through this process, what you can do too is if this is kind of something you want to improve, all you say is needs work, and you can basically just type and submit, and it'll adjust it for you. So as you can see, all I said here was generate me a carousel about ChatGPT Images 2.0, all right? And through the Brand Bible, it already knows we're gonna do a few specific things. Everything that the model here, Opus 4.7, is mentioning is coming from the Brand Bible. If we come to design files here, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. So this is where our assets folder are housed. So we have our avatar placeholder, we have our logo boot, we have our logo monogram, all the important stuff, again, that's essential to your brand. This is, in fact, the actual carousel. So let me just open that up for you so you can just get a better look at things. The beautiful part with the design is, for instance, let's just look through here. So, if I'm not happy with this text, I can just come to comment. I can select on this rectangle. I can just say, make the text slightly smaller so that each point is only one sentence. And as you can see, I can just send it to Claude and it's gonna upgrade it for me, okay? It's gonna fix that for me. I can edit. So if I really don't like the background, I can go about editing it. I can change the size, I can change the font. I can even draw, okay? If I want something in there, which is really cool. And then I can obviously provide some tweaks. Here it's just going to say reload new version, and we do just that. And it should be, right, a little different, okay? And perfect. We have one sentence. The cool thing is all the things we did through the brand Bible, it really kind of maps that out, right? So you can see we have banned words, we have boot lockup, we have our watermark, we have our dark mode, our colors that are primary, we have our inputs and buttons and badges and all that good stuff. We have our UI kits, right? So our carousel generators are basically our landing page, our thumbnails, and we have our uploads. Once you have your design system, you can pretty much do anything you'd like. You actually don't need to stay within this page here. So let's just imagine we're back at the home page here and we actually want to build something. And now we can create prototypes, slide decks, any type of template we want based off of our designs. This is when content becomes really cool. So let's just call it Ocean 2. Let's do design system. So here, again, I can call upon my design system that I made. Let's just go here and I can go create. I can either create a wireframe or high fidelity. You're going to see the tags at the bottom of my screen here, basically just populate with everything I add. I can add a screenshot. We all know that having a screenshot of something of inspiration potentially really helps hone in the model and what we're really looking for. Or I can drag in a Figma file if that's something I'm doing, or again, attach the code base. Nonetheless, now that we have the design system, my design system, your design system toggled, we can then just pretty much create anything. Help me create a Instagram post, a 1:1 ratio of Claude design. Make it informative, value-driven, but also professional. The beautiful part is, again, just like you would kind of in chat, it's going to help, again, hone in basically what we're looking for. And just like kind of you would with Claude Desktop, it starts to essentially plan some things out. If we come down here, we can obviously play with the model. Let's talk about usage real quickly here, because that is very important regarding Claude design. I'm at 56%, and I basically did one design system. So again, the design system does take a bit of usage. So you do consume a lot of usage with Claude design, especially if you're on Opus 4.7. So just keep that in mind when you're with Claude design. I'm going to actually talk about how to get beautiful photos here in a sec and really implement it into this whole design system. So this is our 1:1 Claude versus ChatGPT. Again, we can edit this if you don't like it, but Claude versus ChatGPT I use for both. I use both for 90 days. As you can see, you can just essentially save this. And then you can bring it to Instagram and you have a carousel. But imagine now, okay, instead of this all being designed like this, maybe your brand's a little different. Maybe you actually have product photography, or maybe it's food photography, or it's lifestyle, whatever the case may be. Still kind of want maybe a bit of this design, but you do want to still showcase that authenticity of your brand. That's when something like Higgsfield would come into play. I mean, more specifically, ChatGPT Image 2 is really good. So you can see just some inspiration here. You can also just use that within ChatGPT as well. Now let's just go to ChatGPT, you come to images. Let's actually just do anime. I can download it here. Please remove all text in the middle, and I want to implement images right in the center. Once I've implemented them, then you can create design around the image. Now what we're going to do is essentially we're going to take two superpowers, which is Claude Design, and some images either from Nana Banana 2 or Images 2.0. ChatGPT Images 2.0 is really good. I can come in here and I can essentially select as well to edit anything, cancel, and I can change the aspect ratio. And we also have access now to it in Higgsfield, and we can basically just go Images to there. Now, again, the images could be from your own Instagram account. It could be from your socials, and you just want to spruce up essentially or provide a backdrop of the photo. So as you can see here, we're going to provide a 1:1 photo. And these are the tweaks we talked about before. They don't seem to be actually working right now. I don't know if that's a me thing, to be quite honest, or is it just because they're still in preview? I'm gonna copy and paste this as well. We're gonna come over here and let's try this out. So regarding usage, actually, we were in the 50s, now we're at 71%. And we really just changed a few things, being the carousel. It's probably because it is 8 slides. So you do have to kind of understand token allocation. Perfect. So let's take this photo. Let's download it. Now we would need essentially 8 photos. We can do this a few ways. We can just create a bunch of images and then come back, and I can either drop them in as you see me doing here, or what I can do is just reference a file. And you can basically just bring in your file. So check that out. I think that looks really cool, right? So we still have that terminal vibe feel. Maybe we can actually get rid of that. But as you can see over to my left side here, loads one piece photo by default, the terminal frame. To add more photos, open tweaks, which is just up here. I don't know if it's working now or not. Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. Don't have any overlay on the photo. Make the photo clear as I were to upload it. There we go. We'll take this one here. Let's download, upload. As you can see here too, right? So it is just checking its work, which is awesome. Imagine you can take your image you want of anything, essentially, you created. Maybe that is with AI, or maybe that's actually just you going out and getting content for yourself. Then what you can do is you can basically intertwine Claude Design with this. And this looks freaking sweet, I think. Let me double check the usage. We are at 71 still. Okay, that's great to know. Imagine we did a photo of mountains. You see here, like this is, look how freaking cool this is. And again, don't forget, we can always come in here and we can just comment on anything. So do we want this bigger potentially? Do we want maybe more color in the background? Do we want this, as you can see, this orange, a different color, or do we want it more bold or bigger? All right, so that looks pretty cool. Let's just download, throw that in. As you can see, it's really easy to navigate this. Go new chat, create an image. Yeah, let's do we'll do a few more. Let's do a film strip here. We're gonna go one by one. We're also gonna come to a new chat again, create an image, and let's do infographic poster. I think would go along well with what we're trying to do. And we have image 4 and 5. We're gonna send that off. So probably by the end of this, we'll be at 80% usage. So let's just call this the final product. Again, you have a lot of personalization if you don't like anything, if you don't like the photo, if you don't like kind of the backdrop or the background, whatever. Power really comes from 1, Claude Design, and 2, using AI images, okay? Specifically Nano Banana 2, or even, preferably maybe right now, GPT Images 2.0. Should now be able to use Claude Design and AI images to kind of produce something that is on brand to what you're looking for. If you like that video, subscribe. As always, my friends, take care, stay human, and I'll see you next time.